Hi everyone, it's Vicky here. Today I'm going to talk to you a bit more about Hecate. In my previous videos I have discussed how different continents accept her. A lot of you know already about how the Greeks accept her, so I'm not going to go into that. Due to my pronunciation of a lot of the Greek gods' names and goddesses' names, I found it a bit difficult, so it took me about 4 times to do the video, and then I thought I'm just going to leave it. So what I've decided to do, if you want to go and look up anything on Hecate in Greek mythology and history, then be free to, because I just found it a little bit difficult and I'm very sorry about that. So I am going to skip right ahead and go into Hecate's symbolism and rites. So this is for the people that already know all about Hecate and her history across the world, and then they want to worship her and they want to know the symbolisms and the different ways to worship to her. Now, the worship of Hecate is part of what can be called the Hellenic reconstruction movement, an aspect of an effort to bring the worship of the classic Greek gods back into modern focus and practice. There are many variations of Hellenic reconstructionism, from strict pursuits who focus their rituals solely on the traditions of the classical Greeks and on a particular historical time period, to more liberal groups that include modern adaptations and cross-cultured contributions. Students of history and Reconstructionism myths alike will notice immediately that the contemporary rites I here present are a combination of Greek, Roman and medieval European elements. The reason for this is out of homage to the goddess, whose own history spans all of these times and peoples. Rather than ethnicality centre on one particular culture's beliefs, these rites draw from many of the peoples that have worshipped her and their varied traditions. They are certainly not an attempt in recreate a particular period, nor to label any one practice or era as the correct or authentic one. So basically I am going to just do a little bit for you. Okay, one aspect of these rituals that bear special examinations are the tools and the symbolisms employed within them. Many of the ritual tools and symbolisms of Western magic today owe their true genius to Hellenic and Egyptian religious beliefs and magical practices. As such, they would be quite familiar to ancient followers of Hecate. Now, the next bit I'm going to talk to you about is, like, I've done videos on the tools that we use in Wiccan paganism, but I am going to go through it in the sense of Hecate, Hellenic studies. So bear with me, some people may tell me off if I get anything wrong. I'm just going to ignore you lot out there that do that, and I'm going to do it my way. Now, I'm going to talk about incense, and this is going to be the first in a few videos on the different tools relating to Hecate. Before the sanctuary of Demeter, they pray to the goddess and burn incense. The marketplace of Pharaoh is of wide extent after the ancient fashion, and in the middle of it is an image of Hermes coming at eventide. The inquirer of the god, having burnt incense upon its hearth, filled the lamps with oil and lighted them, and put them on the altar on the right of the image, a local coin called a copper, and asks in the ear of the god the particular question he wishes to put on them. And that was from descriptions of Greece. It was thought that contact with the Egyptians that the Greeks came to employ incense in magical ritual. The culture of Aphrodite, for example, used myrtle, emulating the goddess who, after being born in the sea, was said to have hidden her nakedness with myrtle when she came ashore. Other substances such as frankincense, myrrh, strix and kafi were commonly burned to the gods in a variety of ways. In cubicle burners, on sacred hearth fires, or in handheld censers. It was believed that the gods were pleased by pleasant smells, and incense was considered to be an appropriate bloodless offering to them. One purely Grecian element of this ancient incense was sandarus, which was derived from the gum of the juniper tree. Aside from its own pleasing smell, it was sometimes used as a binding agent for other ingredients, as was mastic, which came from the Greek island of Chios. The ritual use of incense was later adopted by the Romans and the Christian Church. An interesting side note is that early Christians originally frowned upon the burning of incense because it was so strongly associated with pagan religious customs. Frankincense was particularly hated by them, as it was used by the pagan Romans as a taste of loyalty to the emperor, who refused to burn grains of it before his statues were intensely revealed to those around them. As members of this then underground and outlawed religion, it was not until the conversion of Constantine that it was adopted by Christianity as an element of their own religious rituals. It was from these roots, both pagan and Christians, that the custom of ritual burning incense became part of Western magical practice, and was how and why it found its way onto the pagan altars of today. Now, I hope you've enjoyed that video, and I will be doing more on the different tools. It may give you some interesting facts that you didn't know. I really, really hope you've enjoyed that, and bless it be, everybody.